Hi, it's Keisha Dixon, the Tapping Queen. We hear so often in the personal development world how important it is not to play small, right? And to really know who you are and to know your identity. And that is important. It absolutely is. And as adults, we have all kinds of affirmations and categories and thought processes of who we are. And we say we know our identity. And we do. But recently, I was working with a client who was telling me a story casually. She was telling me this casual story about how she grew up as a tomboy. And I asked her, well, what does that mean? What did that mean for her? And she shared with me that from the time she was young, like one, her dad would tell her, or from the time she could remember, her dad would tell her how much he had really, really wanted a boy when her mom was pregnant with her, and how he just knew she was going to be a boy. And when she came out and was a girl, he was not accepting of it. And they gave her a typical boy's name. And they never allowed her to wear dresses, and she wasn't allowed to wear heels. She was jeans and sneakers all the way. For Christmas, rather than Barbie dolls, she would receive trucks. Now, I get it. There was no such thing as girl toys and boy toys. I understand that, but this was her story, not mine. So, I found that kind of interesting because she came to me so we could work on her transformational wealth story. And what kept coming up over and over was her money not being enough, and also her career not being enough, and also her relationships with other people not being enough, and her relationship with food. She was she was an emotional eater. And I'm saying was, an emotional eater stuffing down feelings of not being enough. And a really smart woman, very strong woman, who hadn't connected the dots of all of this: not enough money, not enough satisfaction in her career, not enough satisfaction in her relationships, not getting the satisfaction she was looking for in her food, all connected back to an underlying core unchecked belief that had been told to her over and over again, a story which she had adopted, that by her being her, coming out of the womb was not enough. And once we got eyes on that and cleared it, everything began to change. So today, the intention for this quick tapping is to take a look at any hidden stories that may be running through us subconsciously that are making our beingness incongruent and causing us to play small. All right? So I'm going to just chop on the collarbone as I do this tapping, so I don't get distracted. You can tap through all the points if you like and repeat after me, or say the words that come up for you, right? And I'm going to want to hear what comes up for you after this. All right, let's do some uncovering. All of these stories I've adopted as if they're really part of my identity. Stories like, you're just like your father, or even stories like, you're just like your mother. Stories that said I was spoiled, or that my sister was a smart one. Stories like, you were a surprise, or even a mistake. Stories like, you're just another mouth to feed. Stories like, you're a burden. Or stories like, we wanted someone else, someone different from you. It's upsetting, and it's kind of triggering. It feels kind of uncomfortable. And I don't want to feel this. thinking about these stories. I can't even imagine how tapping can even help with this. So I try to ignore it and I try to move on. And I say I've moved past it, gotten over it, and I've pushed these stories down. But they're still there. They're under the hood. And when I think about these stories, it brings up stress and fear. It brings up shame and embarrassment. And I can really feel it coursing through my system. Every time I think about not playing small, every time I think about showing up as my true and authentic self. And that feels unsafe, and it's confusing. Whenever I think about not playing small and just knowing who I am, just being me, it feels embarrassing. It feels unsafe. It feels unfair because it's so easy for everyone else to do. But me just being me, it doesn't feel safe. Maybe I've never really felt safe just being myself because of these stories I've adopted. But I'm just going to honor this. I've been really hard on myself. And these stories have been really hard on me. It's been some really hard stuff. To feel like I don't have enough value or worth to be myself. To feel like I have to stay hidden when I'm myself. That's hard. And I've lived with this for years. I've paid a real price for this programming, these adopted stories. And I carry it with me 24/7. These feelings of having to play small, having to be someone other than myself. I'm just going to totally honor that right now. You know, I've added on top of that just being ruthless with myself and critical and judgmental. I've been actually mean to myself to the point where I've broken my own heart. I've broken my own heart before. I've literally beaten myself up in trying to stuff this down. I've stuffed it down by playing small. I'm just going to honor it in a new light today as I give myself the gift of compassion. And I give myself this gift of understanding. I give myself this gift of self-love. And a reminder, or maybe even new information, that I deserve. I do deserve. I do deserve to be myself. I do deserve happiness. I do deserve to feel safe. And I deserve to be me. And because I love myself so much, I'm going to heal this. I'm going to heal these old stories. And I honor myself now. I honor who I am and who I've always been. I honor who I am becoming. Okay. Now take a deep breath. I know that tapping may have felt uncomfortable, but I would love to hear what came up for you. This is how identity work and tapping works together. It brings you to this whole new level of consciousness and the opportunity to heal. I'm Keisha Dixon, and I assist women to tap into success in all areas of their life. If you would like to work with me one-to-one, just PM me right here. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.